Have you ever wondered what happens in the cockpit during an air travel catastrophe? It's a chilling thought, isn't it? The stark reality of air travel safety, and the flurry of events that transpire in the face of disaster, has always sparked a degree of curiosity. Today, we dive into one such dark chapter of aviation history, the Flight 708 West Caribbean Airways crash. We'll explore not just the facts, but the emotions, the decisions, and the split-second actions that shaped that ill-fated journey. This video will walk you through the chilling timeline of Flight 708's last moments. It was August 16, 2005 when Flight 708 took off from Panama City. The morning was clear and the air buzzed with the usual anticipation that comes with the start of a journey. It was a day like any other, the sun was shining, and the weather conditions were perfect for flying. The plane, a McDonnell Douglas MD-82, was a familiar sight in the sky, its engines humming as it began to ascend. On board were 152 passengers and 8 crew members, each with their own stories, their own reasons for being on that flight. Some were families, excited for a vacation, others were business travelers preparing for meetings and conferences. And then there were the crew members, seasoned professionals who had done this route countless times. The cabin was filled with the rustle of papers, the hum of conversation, and the soft dings of seatbelt signs. For those on board, it was the start of another routine flight. Just another day in the sky. Little did the passengers and crew know that this would be their last flight. A few hours into the flight, the plane hit turbulence. Our journey takes a grim turn here, as the calm skies of the initial hours began to betray an unsettling reality. The tranquility of the flight was abruptly interrupted by an unexpected bout of turbulence. The aircraft, once soaring with confidence, started to show signs of distress. The first indication of trouble came in the form of technical anomalies. The plane's systems, once operating seamlessly, started to falter. Strange readings began to appear on the control panel, hinting at a possible system failure. The once steady hum of the engines now echoed with an unsettling irregularity. A sense of unease began to creep into the cockpit. The crew, trained for such contingencies, sprang into action. Their faces, once relaxed, now bore expressions of concern and determination. They began troubleshooting, trying to identify and rectify the issue. As the unsettling signs continued, the crew's calm professionalism was gradually replaced by a sense of urgency. The plane, once a symbol of human technological prowess, was now a ticking time bomb. As the situation worsened, the crew made desperate attempts to contact air traffic control. Their voices, once filled with the routine monotony of flight updates, now carried an undeniable note of desperation. The radio, their lifeline to the outside world, crackled with their pleas for help. The control tower, once a reassuring presence, was now a beacon of hope. Despite their best efforts, the crew couldn't prevent the inevitable. The plane, once a marvel of human achievement, was now a vessel of impending doom. The crew, once filled with hope and determination, were now in a race against time, trying to avert a disaster that was quickly becoming a grim reality. The descent had begun, and with it, the countdown to a catastrophe that would go down in aviation history. At 3:45 a.m., Flight 708 crashed into a mountainous region in Venezuela. In the still of the night, the tranquility was shattered by the thunderous impact of metal against rock. The aircraft, once a marvel of human engineering, was now a twisted wreck strewn across the unforgiving terrain. The force of the collision was so severe that it was heard miles away, a chilling reminder of the abrupt end to so many lives. In the immediate aftermath, the eerie silence that followed was broken only by the crackling of the aircraft's wreckage. As the dawn broke, plumes of smoke rose from the crash site, painting a somber picture against the backdrop of the rising sun. The landscape was transformed into a grim tableau, a sight that would haunt the first responders for years to come. Emergency services were on the scene as swiftly as possible, navigating the treacherous terrain in an effort to reach the crash site. On arrival, they were met with a scene of utter devastation. The sheer magnitude of the disaster was overwhelming, as the remnants of the aircraft lay scattered across the mountainside. The rescue operation quickly turned into a recovery mission, as it became clear that there were no survivors. The response from emergency services was swift and comprehensive. Search and rescue teams combed the wreckage, painstakingly documenting the scene and retrieving the remains of the passengers. It was a task that demanded not just physical endurance, but immense emotional resilience. The distress signals that were once a beacon of hope were now a tragic reminder of the lives lost. In the face of such a horrific disaster, the response teams worked tirelessly, their efforts a testament to the human spirit's resilience. As they moved through the wreckage, they did so with a solemn respect for the lives that were abruptly cut short, their actions a silent tribute to the victims of the tragedy. Ultimately, the crash of Flight 708 claimed the lives of all 160 people on board. A stark reminder of the fragility of life, the disaster left a profound impact on all those involved, forever etching the memory of Flight 708 into the annals of aviation history. In the wake of the crash, an extensive investigation was launched. The probe into the tragedy of Flight 708 was nothing short of rigorous and thorough, aimed at uncovering the truth behind the catastrophe. The investigators, comprising aviation experts and engineers, meticulously pieced together the fragments of the ill-fated aircraft. Their efforts led to a startling revelation. The crash was not a result of an unfortunate act of nature or a nefarious act of terrorism. Instead, the cause was traced back to a series of mechanical failures that had occurred during the flight. The aircraft was plagued by engine problems, which were further exacerbated by the harsh weather conditions. The crew, despite their best efforts, could not counter the escalating issues. The plane, crippled by its failing systems, was unable to maintain its flight path, leading to the disastrous crash. The investigation also shed light on the role of the crew. The flight crew, experienced and trained, bravely battled the mounting challenges. However, they were faced with a situation that was rapidly spiraling out of control. Their desperate attempts to regain control of the aircraft and guide it to safety were in vain. Their actions, though heroic, were not enough to avert the tragedy. The probe also highlighted other contributing factors. The weather, for one, played a significant role. The aircraft was caught in a severe storm, which further complicated the already dire situation. The investigators also pointed out potential lapses in maintenance and inspection procedures, which could have prevented the mechanical failures that led to the crash. The crash of Flight 708 serves as a stark reminder of the importance of air travel safety. The lessons learned from this tragedy underscore the need for stringent maintenance and inspection protocols, as well as the continuous training of flight crews to handle emergency situations. The memory of Flight 708 will forever serve as a poignant testament to the relentless pursuit of air travel safety. The tragic crash of Flight 708 has left an indelible mark on the world of aviation. An event of such magnitude, filled with complexities and unanswered questions, provokes us to delve deep into the chronicles of this unfortunate incident. It all began on the day of departure, when the aircraft, carrying passengers with dreams and hopes, took off into the sky, oblivious of the fate that awaited them. The descent commenced, not gradually as it normally would, but rather abruptly, sending chills down the spine of everyone on board. The final moments were filled with dread and desperation, culminating in the devastating crash that shook the world to its core. In the aftermath of the crash, the investigation unfolded, shedding light on the intricate details of this tragic event. It was a painstaking process involving numerous experts, countless hours of analysis, and an unwavering commitment to uncover the truth. The findings were startling. A series of unfortunate events and errors had led to this catastrophe. From the initial descent to the subsequent crash, each moment was a link in the chain of causality, leading to an outcome that was as heartbreaking as it was preventable. The lessons learned from this incident are numerous and profound. It served as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of safety measures in aviation. It underscored the need for stringent checks, continuous training, and technological advancements to prevent such disasters in the future. This incident also highlighted the role of human factors in aviation safety. The pilots, the crew, the air traffic controllers, each one has a pivotal role to play, and each one's actions can have far-reaching consequences. It underscored the need for a culture of safety, where everyone is empowered and encouraged to voice their concerns and take proactive measures to ensure the safety of all on board. The crash of Flight 708 was not just a tragedy, but a wake-up call. A call for renewed commitment to safety, a call for continuous learning, a call for constant vigilance. It is a call we must heed lest we forget the lessons of the past and are doomed to repeat them. As we remember the victims of Flight 708, we are reminded of the constant need for vigilance and improvement in air travel safety. Their memories serve as a beacon, guiding us towards a safer future where such tragedies are a thing of the past.